If you got a 5.7 Hemi Ram or anything with a 5.7 Hemi inside of it, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some good tips on maintaining a 5.7 Hemi V8 engine, guys. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. And if you click on this video, I'm assuming that you clicked on this video because you want to get some ideas and tips and stuff on how you could be able to maintain your 5.7 liter Hemi V8 engine. As you guys know, these Hemi engines are very, very special in a good way. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys that in this video. But before we get started, I want to say, guys, I appreciate the support on the channel. And I just want to tell you guys, I know we're not where we need to be yet on the channel, but we got a ton of things coming for the Ram and also this channel. So if you just subscribe to the channel, I appreciate it. If you haven't already, do me a favor, click that like, click that subscribe button, help support the channel, and I would definitely appreciate it. So the 5.7, I don't know why I keep freaking, my words not coming out right now, but the 5.7 Hemi V8 engine. These are the tips that I want to share with you guys, right? The legacy of the 5.7 Hemi, or of the Hemi, I'll just say. The legacy of the Hemi. The Dodge V8 is more than just a regular engine. An engine. It's a brand, defining performance icon and stuff like that. Found in everything from Charger RTs to the Ram 1500. The Hemi blend of a muscle car heritage and modern engineering has made it stand out in the world of huge output V8, which is very, very true. Before years ago, I remember when before they came out with the Hellcat Cat Packs, when it was just like the Dodge Chargers and, you know, the Rams and stuff, 1500s. Back then, like this, like I know a lot of people talk shit about the 5.7 and feel like they not really as important now. But in my personal opinion, I think that if Dodge wasn't going to make these engines first, there wasn't going to be a 6.2, 6.4, you know, Hemi and stuff like that. So I personally feel like the 5.7 Hemi engine really is like the main platform before they came out with the 6.4 Hemi and stuff like that. Just to keep in mind, just to give you guys a little tip on a little history class, I would say history class. But raw power doesn't guarantee longevity for these Hemi engines and stuff like that. The very engineering that make a Hemi potential also make it sensitive to miss service internals and the use of incorrect fluids. So these are the things that could kill your Hemi. So I'm going to be breaking down to you guys few important points and stuff like that. So you guys want to listen up and pay attention. We in class right now, so I'm playing. But if you want your 5.7 or your 6.4 or your 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi to last beyond 200,000 miles and still perform as it did on the day you need to follow the best practice built on experience, not just your owner manual and stuff like that. You really just got to understand, like, I feel like even though like the owner manuals on like that comes in these trucks really give you down like a breakdown of things to do, yes, you can still follow them, but it really do like I think your experience too is something that's very, very major. Your experience, let's say if you own a couple of these trucks in the past, and you know, you pretty much will understand what really needs to be done to keep them on the road for a pretty long time. So you pretty much want, in other words, I'm gonna try to break it down for you guys and not try to talk too much. Excuse me. You want to know the engine you are working with, pretty much. This is why I state I'm a person where I feel like anybody that have a car or truck at the end of the day, it's very, very important to understand the engine that's in your vehicle, to at least know something. You don't have to know everything, just know something just in case if something goes wrong. The modern Hemis are more sophisticated. I'm reading this off my book right now. Then they're I can't excuse me. Right now I got the cold. My voice is a little bit dead, so trying to talk and trying to read at the same time, kind of difficult for me, but we're gonna get our point across though. But no, you really want to know like your Hemi, your engine that's in your car at the end of the day, or a truck at the end of the day. That would save you a whole lot at the end. Like I'm telling you guys, man. But to really be able to improve performance, efficiency, but add more complexity and stuff like that, like you really got to understand, if you completely skip service or incorrect parts, these are the things, right? If you do these things like the opposite, I'm not telling you to do these things, but I'm saying like if you are now not really paying too much attention, like you skipping your service or incorrect parts being put on your car, meaning that cheap parts and stuff being put on your car or truck, this could lead to premature wear, poor fuel economy, serious engine damages. These are just things that lead on and on. And one thing is the oil change is something that's really, really non-negotiable when it comes to, this is like the most common failure point in these engine. Pretty much wipe cam lubes and fill lifters are almost always traced back to like the oil you put in. This is what I was saying. I feel like the oil change is something that's very, very important. I think is the number one thing to any car lifespan. Like whatever oil you are using, later on down the line, if you are using some knockoff cheap oil, later on down the line, this is going to compound over time, and it's going to cause, if you have an issue, let's say a year from now, 2 years from now, from using like a cheap oil on your Hemi, and something end up going wrong, this could lead back like that. The fact that you was using that oil, that could lead from, that problem really could grow over time. My point is, I'm trying to tell you guys is, you just want to make sure your oil change is something that you stay on top of. Like this is like the easiest, simplest things you could do. To one of these trucks or car at the end of the day, or any vehicle out there at the end of the day. But the thing is, most people don't try to do it on time, and life happens. But it's one of the easiest, simple things you can do. Like I stated before, guys, I did my oil change a few days ago, and that took me roughly 30 minutes right after work in a parking lot. So it's really something you have to understand that is non-negotiable though. What do you really need to do? Things you have to do. If you don't know, this is a list. I got my list right here. You guys don't see it, but I'm reading it right now. So you want to change your oil every 5,000 miles with no exception. Or, depending a little bit more, you could push it a little bit, but I wouldn't really encourage you to. Use full synthetic oil depending on your Hemi engine you have. 5W20 is what my truck used for the 5.7 liter, and 0W40 for the 6.4 and the 6.2. Use high quality filter. I use the Mopar, or I use like the Mobile One. The Mobile One filter, normally I get it with like a discount. I get it for free when I buy my oil from AutoZone or Advanced Auto or something like that. Whatever auto place you have, I'm pretty sure they have some kind of deal like that. But I personally think that Mobile One or Mopar, regular Mopar oil filter, that's like the ones that I would recommend. I wouldn't use anything else. That's just me. Now, avoidable, like your cam, when it comes to your cam and lifter failure, right? These are avoidable with maintenance. Believe it or not, I think it's definitely avoidable with maintenance. The notorious Hemi tick is often harmless, which is true, But if occupied by, it's going to cause rough idle, misfire, drop in oil pressure. It also may signal lifter, roller fillers, camshaft, um, lube wear, oil starvation, MDS malfunction, and so on and stuff like that. So preventing these things from happening, you want to stick to a schedule. So schedule oil change and use proper filter to avoid costly engine breakdown, guys. Very, very important. You want to keep an eye out on your cooling system. Your Hemi engine run hot, especially when towing, idle in summer traffic, which is 100% true. One reason why, right? I end up upgrading with this right here, what I just stated, right? These Hemi engine, right, during the summertime, especially if you live in somewhere where it gets super hot, I would highly recommend. This is why, one reason to why I end up swapping over from doing a clutch fan delete, and I end up doing like I forgot what it was. I think 180 degree thermostat. I think so. So I did the clutch fan delete, and then I upgraded my thermostat on here. That way the truck, remember the fan that you put, the V6E fan that you put on here on these trucks, they are a lot more bigger. It's a lot more bigger. So I know a lot of people say stuff, but it is a lot more bigger and a lot more effective than the one that's on here, like the stock ones that on here that sits on the water pump, which is something that you don't want. And you just want to make sure you try to keep these. You want to make sure you want to keep an eye on your cooling system and stuff like that during the summertime, or even if you are constantly towing or just cruising at a highway speed or something like that, because these engine do get real high and stuff like that. But these are things to keep in mind. Cooling and maintenance checklist, right? You want to do a cooling flush every 5 years or 100,000 miles. Thermostat, you want to replace it if heating, cooling is inconsistent. Radiator and hose, check pressure and stuff like that. Water pump, inspect for noise or seepage, any kind of leaks and stuff like that after 80,000 miles. Like my water pump on this truck, this is something I feel like I experience with every all the Rams I own. The water pump always start before they go bad or start having any kind of noise. You'll notice like a leak mark. Just if you see anything leaking underneath your truck, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, if it's not the radiator hose and stuff or radiator itself, could be your water pump and stuff. Or if you're smelling any kind of if you smell like your coolant stuff, you know how it is when you smell like the coolant. Even when if you don't open up your hood, let's say you're walking in front of your truck, you smell that coolant smell. That's like a sign right there also. But just to keep in mind, spark plugs. 16 reasons you want to stay on top of your spark plugs. You want to have a schedule. Your Hemis, these Hemis use 2 spark plugs per cylinder, so 16 total. Warm plug, this is what could lead to, like, if your spark plug is like worn out, misfire, power loss, damage to your catalytic converter, leads on and on. So you want to service your inter valve, 30,000 miles, pretty much 60 to 100,000 miles for anything like the forgot my effing word out of my mouth, but you guys get the point of what I'm trying to state to you guys. I know there's a lot of stuff on my list right now. I'm just reading off. Hopefully you guys are still catching on pretty much. Also, you want to inspect your coil pack for cracks or oil intrusion. You want to use NGK or Champion plugs. Those are the ones that I know. Apply C's if needed. Anti-C's if needed when you're replacing them. Torque to spec to avoid any kind of thread damage and stuff like that. If you are doing it yourself, you want to make sure if you've done it, if you're doing it your first time, this is something that you want to definitely make sure you torque to like the spec that's definitely needed, because you don't want to avoid any kind of thread damage. You don't want to have any kind of thread damage and stuff like that. Now your transmission, differential, and transfer case fluids. Speaking of this, definitely got to get my differential fluid on my truck change. The Hemi power screen, drivetrain companions and stuff, keep your fluid fresh to protect your transmission. Fluid and filter every 60,000 miles, they said. Differential, you want to change every 30 to 50,000 miles, more often if you're towing. Transfer case, four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, fluid change every 60,000 miles. Important to use OEM fluids. ZFAHP unit, knee, lifeguard 8, if not the not ATF +4 and stuff like that. But these are you always, this is something where I feel like whenever you're messing with things like that, though, I want to say you always got to make sure you always use OEM. OEM is the only way you should be going. Like, OEM is the only way, guys. There's so much stuff I wrote on this list, guys, but I'm not gonna really go too much into detail because some of you guys probably understand already. Brake, suspension, tire consideration. You want to check your brake pads, rotors. Inspect every 10,000 miles, like they said. Brake flush every 2 or 3 years, I think. Suspension, check your control arm, ball joints, bushing. These are things I would check if I go get an oil change. If you go to like an actual shop, normally they will check these things for you. Ball joint, control arm, all that things and stuff like that. Pretty much what I could say, when you have one of these trucks, you want to maintain it like you really mean it. The HEMI engine is built for long haul, but only when disciplined maintenance is part of ownership. That's for anything you own, guys. I'm telling you, you never want to skip an oil change. Use OEM grade, filter and fluids, service the coolant and engination system on time, monitor your MDS and drivetrain companion, address any small issue before they have lead on to more stuff. A well-maintained Hemi can still run like new, even with 6 figures, or even with like a lot of miles on a truck. Loans are the biggest thing, right? As long as you are maintaining your truck, I'm telling you guys, your truck's still gonna drive. Let's say if you bought it brand new, still gonna drive like it's brand new. Sometimes it don't be the car or truck at the end of the day. Sometimes it just be the person that's behind the wheel, the person that owns the car or truck at the end of the day. So just want to keep these things in mind, guys. If you have one of these trucks, hopefully this could be able to help you out. These are things I go through with my truck. So trying to help you guys. If you are still watching, I appreciate it. I want to say, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, stay safe. Peace out.